Welcome back, everybody. Here we are, Ascension Esports' Elder League Series 2 of the night. Doctor here, still on the desk. However, we did have a bit of a hot swap. Took a little while, but we finally got Wumbo to join us here tonight for an exciting match between the Chuckobos and Relegades Incorporated. So, how you doing, Wumbo?
I'm doing absolutely great. Relegades have been playing great series thus far. Also, shouts out to the Virtuosos who've been also putting on some great games, and I'm really hyped to see what they can do in this next one.
Yeah, and these bans are coming in fast and furious. Lulu, Diana, Syndra, Victor. Lots of focus on this mid lane.
Yeah, Cyber the God has a really strong performance on his Diana last game, also due in part from the feeding from Trent. So I can understand why they want to take that one away. Did have a very strong performance on that, blowing up multiple carries in that series. In game 2, it is going to be a Graves ban finally, though, for the Relegades. Really strong performances people have been having on that. Always a basic ban to have. And really right now for this first pick, I could see them either prioritizing the jungle or prioritizing the support. There's a lot of really good jungle picks right now since they focused both teams actually focused a lot of their bans on the mid lane. So I could see a lot of really strong junglers coming out. And ultimately, the Chuckobos go with a Nautilus first pick. Not what I would have went with, but a good pick nonetheless to have that tank frontline secured for their team comp.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something good to pick up first. It allows you to flex a bit. You know, it could be the top lane, could be the support. You don't really know, and it doesn't show anything, and yet it takes away a very heavy tank line from your opponent.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point. And right now we'll see the Relegades hovering over that Echo that CyberGod actually played in the first game of their series against the Virtuosos. Had a fairly good showing on it, albeit not as strong as it could have been because of a Lulu, but however that Lulu is taken away. So if CyberGod gets that, very good pickup for him. Red Flame is going to get onto that Shen. He's been doing great things on it all night.
Yeah, this is a matchup we've been seeing a ton of lately. Nautilus, Shen, definitely lots of map-wide pressure. Both can split push fairly effectively. The Shen does have a bit more of a map presence, you know, having that Stand United plus the teleport. So I mean,
Galio.
Yeah, the Galio pick I'm really loving.
Could be spicy.
I'm not liking the builds that we've seen so far for it though. A lot of people are building full tank, which kind of kills the the pick. It doesn't really.
Yeah, his AP scaling is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even in the jungle, if you're able to pick up a
I'm actually blanking on it too. Runic Echoes?
Yes, the Runic Echoes. If you pick up the Runic Echoes, you clear camps so incredibly fast compared to what people think you do. And heading into most of the meta junglers, you actually end up winning a lot of 1v1s there.
Yeah, the 1v1s, he is extremely strong in those 1v1 situations where he can pump out all that CC onto a single target. On the side of the Chuckobos, though, Twisted Fate and Bomb going to get picked up, so already we're seeing some really, really heavy map presence from the Nautilus TP and the Twisted Fate. Seeing the hover, it looks like he's going to go with an exhaust on Twisted Fate rather than a teleport for even more map presence.
Yeah, I mean,
on the other side,
if that is an Echo pick, you kind of need the exhaust. Echo is just destruction in the mid lane. Easily wins a lot of these 1v1s coming in against the likes of Twisted Fate, Lux, Ahri even. So to see an exhaust come out there is not very surprising.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. Echo extremely strong, but you could also argue that if you're getting poked out, that the TP would help to get back to lane quicker and not miss any of that CS. However, on the side of the Relegades, you are seeing an Olaf and a Sivir's Samana be picked up. Had a fair amount of games on the Sivir last season. Not too many great showings. No, he's not usually keen on playing those utility 80 carries, but his team requires it. He does it.
Yeah,
quite a team player, Samana.
Well, when you are a living meme, you do kind of need to do what your team tells you to do. And something that's kind of fallen through here is there were almost no AD carry bans, and so I'd like to see a Lucian pick up here. Does very well into Sivir, works exceptionally well with the Braum. Unfortunately, we are going to be seeing Ezreal, which does have its benefits, I'm not going to lie, but I feel like there's better matchups that could have been had.
Yeah, I agree completely, especially with Lucian. Just how fun he is to play. You know, there's not a lot of like peel champions on the side of the Relegades, so it is just kind of like seeing who gets more damage and who can kill each other faster, which is pretty fun to experience on the Lucian. But looking towards this jungle matchup, looks like it's going to be the Olaf against Kha'Zix. Not a fan personally. I know Olaf likes to keep a very low health bar in the jungle, so if Worthless Korean's able to invade, kill him, that would be a huge swing for the Chuckobos.
Yeah, Worthless Korean is a very good jungler. He, from what I understand, has very good timings on his invades and can, you know, make cheeky plays like that happen. However, I mean, there's lots of synergy in these just both team comps. My only concern is that the Chuckobos have very focused single target damage, but not very much AoE. Like there's a little bit, but they're gonna be focused around picks, I feel.
Yeah, looking at it with the Nautilus, Dredgelines, Twisted Fate, Gold card, Kha'Zix, exceptionally good at picking out those targets. Along with the Braum, which is a single target stun, so it looks like they are going to be working with a sort of pick comp, which would be difficult to manage, especially with a Shen and a Karma with an Olaf, who just have so much mobility in that, and the amount of speed ups that they have. The Sivir Ultimate, Karma Mantra Q, and then, you know, if Shen or Olaf want to buy like a Catalyst or something like that, it's a lot of speed. And especially when Ezreal's only got like 2 escapes that are really blinks, you can just kind of run down and close those gaps with all that speed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of discussion around picking Olaf as a jungler. A lot of people are very against it, some people are for it, only in select situations, and really the perfect situation that a lot of people talk about is the one we're currently seeing right here, is we have a Sivir and a Karma both ready and prepared to get that Olaf in the fight. So this is almost a perfect situation for Olaf, especially considering there's almost 0 tanks on the side of the Chuckobos.
Yeah, and to speak on this Olaf pick just a little bit more, you'll be seeing a lot of single target CC, Nautilus Dredgeline, the Nautilus ulti, Braum's passive, stun, Twisted Fate, gold card, all of these things can be easily mitigated by Olaf, and since they are single target, he would just eat them and then they are effectively used up and can't be used again for a little bit. So when you have such a pick-oriented comp like this that relies on stacking CC, Olaf is a great answer to that, because his ulti just shreds all of that CC off him and he can run freely.
Yeah, I mean, gold card, you mentioned it, you know, I thought we were going to see the cleanse coming in from CyberGod, but last second did swamp over to the teleport. So if he gets caught by a gold card, he won't have that insta cleanse escape, but I don't think he really needs it. This matchup seems just so incredibly one-sided towards the Echo that I'm having a hard time seeing a situation where Twisted Fate wins.
I think the Chuckster would really just have to use red cards and his Q to kind of try to get a shove priority, especially in the early levels, because it is a melee against a ranged matchup, but that is sort of like a false sense of security because Echo's got a myriad of gap closers and slows that he can use to get onto his target and blow them up. But if he can get CyberGod under his tower and force him to burn his abilities to CS, then that would be a 1 lane for Chuckster.
Yeah, I mean, Echo's also very good at wave clearing with that Time Winder, but that being said, looking at these team comps, who do you think's going to win this game?
Relegades, actually. Just looking at the team comps on face value, the comp from the Chuckobos are just so pick-oriented, and Shen does a lot of things to mitigate that with the shield and being able to, on the Stand United. They have really good roaming potential between Echo and the Olaf to get in there and provide backup for any of those possible picks. So I feel like that mitigates a lot of what the Chuckobos comp is built on.
Yeah, and I can't help but think that they thought about that early on once they saw the Nautilus pick, because once that came out, then they immediately focused on the Shen. Yeah, it's a good matchup to have, but it once you see the rest of the comp come in, then you kind of understand that the Chuckobos come in with one thought and, one thought only, and the Shen, like you said, just kind of makes that not a thing.
And especially that they don't have that much dive to get onto these high priority targets outside of Kha'Zix and an ulti from Twisted Fate to get on top of them, and then still they can just be mitigated by a Shen. So a lot of these picks that they have for themselves, Shen just is a gigantic roadblock against. Ooh, I like the Keystone from White Raw. He went with the I spent a lot of time thinking about like what champions would probably be really good to Stoneborn pack, and completely forgot about Olaf. Be really good. The easily reapplicable slow, likes to build tanky.
Yeah, it's very effective if you can get a lot of auto attacks on. It's something that we haven't been seeing a lot of. I do expect it to start getting picked up more and more in the bot lane, which we do see it on the Braum as well. So we'll just have to see how those play out. Obviously, the more HP you have, the more effective it is. And, coming from a support role, you don't usually get that much health.
I mean, there's Sightstone and stuff, but absolutely not nearly as much as if you were like the main frontline tank. And it's on Olaf, it's especially good on him because he gets the scaling from the HP.
So now that we're on the Rift, we will be seeing the teams go at it. And for one, I want to see some level 1s. I love it when the teams just go at it, no holds barred, and then just make stuff happen with not a whole lot to work with. So I want it. I don't think I'm going to get it, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, they have a really strong level 1 on the side of the Chuckobos with this Nautilus hook and then the Braum with the isolated Q coming from the Worthless Korean. So there could be some spiciness happening here as they are roaming into that jungle.
They do get caught by Samana though. CyberGod gonna get hooked in, gets immediately taken down though, and first blood to Worthless Korean on the Kha'Zix.
Oh, that's so huge. Not even any room for him to respond. The chain CC was layered so immaculately that he just pops like a cherry and goes down. That will be one more kill in the pockets of Worthless Korean, able to pick up a longsword. That's huge. His clear speed is going to be so much faster with that one longsword.
So I'm actually concerned because Samano saw them in that bush. Ooh, they are going to let Zero just walk right by. So this is going to be a 3-buff start for Worthless unless he just against Worthless. But that ward could end up saving them. Is it going to time out in time?
It looks like Samano and Sandwalker are standing in here in that Shrine Brush to maybe get some poke early, but I don't think they have a strong enough level 1 against Lord Blanket Impulse. We'll see what happens here. They are walking towards it. It is like an IED.
The inner flame gets mantra boosted, and they just kind of walk through it. They just don't care, I guess.
I mean, there's not really much you can do against poke like that. Mantra Q and a boomerang blade to the face. Not really many answers to be had after that.
Yeah, and now this puts the Chocobo bot lane in a very hairy situation. Half HP, not a whole lot of potions, deciding to go with that Doran start versus the longsword against a Karma, one of the number 1 poke, supports.
Yeah, I think that is a little bit odd, but I don't believe it'll have too much of an effect as the lifesteal does help Ezreal on his Q. Iris and Red Flame exchanging very heavy blows. And speak about the jungle matchup a little bit. Worthless Korean is down 1 camp against White Raw because White Raw took his blue and his ground, whereas White Raw, as Worthless Korean, read that invade very well, took the blue buff, didn't take the Gromp as well. So if Worthless White Raw can continue to snowball that camp lead, it would be disastrous, as you kind of have to capitalize on Olaf's weak or early game. Kazakhs not really doing that so far just yet.
Yeah, I mean, Kazakhs will have the advantage early on, and right there was exactly what I was talking about. There's just simply zero response that Chuckster will have against that kind of, engagement there.
Yeah, I agree. And to talk about the jungle match just a little bit more, I'm actually really surprised at the
that's so much damage!
Go down?
Iris is actually going to give up a solo kill due to the amount of minions. Oh, that was a lot.
That's a big swing.
I think even Red Flame is surprised by that one.
Yeah, I guess the volley of the minion auto attacks were so clumped, I didn't expect it to chunk him like that. Wow.
Sometimes all you can say is never lucky, and that doesn't bode well. That'll definitely allow, or it should have allowed for an early Tiamat, but it does look like we're just going to be seeing a Sunfire Rush coming out of the Shen.
Yeah, it did only back with what seems to be 700 gold. I think he should have went for boots, honestly, just to try to maneuver around a little bit more. But it's going to work out nonetheless and give him a better time with those trades into this Nautilus matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, like I mentioned earlier, a very huge, very large fan.
White Raw might be caught out here.
White Raw is going to get stunned up. No level 6 available. Ends up going down to Impulse on that Ezreal, giving over a red buff even.
He thought that he had the upper hand there, invading when he had bot lane pressure, but he didn't know where Worthless Korean was and ultimately gives his life as a result of that misinformation. So that'll be another assist and 2 assists. That was really good kill spread towards the bot lane and the jungler. Looks like Red Flame is taking a lot of minion damage.
Yeah, in a very similar situation as to what gave him the kill last time. So he definitely has to be careful, though. He does know what is waiting for him over there.
That is a big wave, and if only Worthless Korean was up there to respond to that huge wave.
Into the tower, though. Equalizes it a little bit. Still on the downside. Not going to get an auto attack thanks to the Spirit's Refuge.
Worthless Korean warrior. This is the point of my solo queue where I'm just pinging the crap out of my jungler.
Flash still available for 0, but he's going to find a White Raw in a bush. There's the flash. The axe did land, but end of the day, it is going to be Iris surviving a gank.
Yeah, and I have to bring into question Worthless Korean's decision making. He's so strong right now over this Olaf. He could be invading so aggressively with that 1-0-1 and a Tiamat that he has. Right now, White Raw doesn't even have any attack stats.
Now, I'm a little curious about that Tiamat pickup. It doesn't seem like it's the overall best choice for Kazakh, someone who wants to do a lot of single target damage versus, the AoE damage that's going to be coming out of the Tiamat.
Well, it helps to supplement because of the large AD on it, but actually it looks like he might be showcasing how much damage it does here.
So, Spell Shield going to come in. However, the Destiny Gold card does come in as well. Stand United going to land onto Sandwalker. Only one more auto was needed. Chuckster's going to get taunted up. Gold card ready and waiting. Gets the damage on to...
And here comes White Raw.
Red Flame. White Raw is going to be coming in from the side. Can he land an axe onto anybody? He gets Impulse. Throws on the Chilling Smite as well. Reckless Swing not quite available. White Raw does go down to Lord Blank. Korean jumps right back in. Gets taunted up, but the kills are in favor of the Chuckobos. Double kill coming in for Chuckster. Gold card hits the mark.
Wow, and a huge swing. Everyone got an invitation to the bot lane party. But ultimately, it's the Chuckobos.
Except for CyberGod. He's kind of left sitting in the rain, wondering where his invite got lost in the mail.
That feels bad. They're probably going to have to make some excuse as to why they didn't invite him. But ultimately, Chuckobos come out on top in a huge swing, gaining 5 kills for themselves to 1. And it seemed... Oh, to talk about the Tiamat pick, it's Tiamat pick. It's mostly for CSing in the jungle a lot better. It gives you really, really quick clear.
So now...
And then building it in the Ravenous Hydra isn't too bad either. But you mostly just sit on it to get really, really fast clear.
Now, why didn't we see one come out of Red Flame? I mean, we saw that the Cinder Hulk, or the Balmy Cinder, didn't do anything for him in that bot lane. He just kind of got exploded anyway. And... everybody survived with fractions of HP on the side of the Chuckobos.
Yeah, it felt so bad. And if only I mean, White Rod tried to make something happen there, but didn't have his level 6, and didn't have very many stats to work with just sitting on that chilling smite. And that is kind of the detriment that you have when you pick that Olaf. He's pretty weak early game, does not nearly do as much as a Kha'Zix would.
Yeah, and we can see that in the scoreline. 100% kill participation for Worthless Korean. He's just all over this map right now. But the Olaf is, you know, a third of his team's deaths right now.
Yeah, agreed.
Ooh.
And whoa,
Great
Samano.
spell shield coming onto Samano, but he is going to get stunned up. Impulse actually afraid of the Karma, so should be getting a stun here, but the Inspire shield does... the stun still comes through. No. Impulse, though, goes under tower. Why would you do that? Lord Blank flash in from the Sandwalker, gets one. Should be getting two. One more auto is all it takes. There's the Inner Flame. Double kill for the Sandwalker.
Wow,
oh no!
Huge misstep for the Chuckobos. Working with such a good lead, and then scared of a chain from Karma. Gets deterred from that kill, but here comes
Worthless Korean finds a walker.
He still has his leap.
Gets the jump in. Samano does spell shield, but it's not enough. Here comes the Void Spikes with a chilling smite. Double kill for Worthless Korean.
And Worthless Korean, he is in the driver's seat right now. The recipient of that first blood is working with just the best lead. If you ever play Kha'Zix, it feels so good to be sitting on it. He's already in such a great position to be carrying this game, and he's extending his lead perfectly.
Although,
okay, he didn't get spotted, but it still works.
Does it quite have the late game potential that the Olaf has? I mean, yeah, it can solo out Samano or Sandwalker, maybe not Sandwalker eventually, but team fight wise, I almost feel like Olaf's gonna be bringing more to the table once he gets his items.
Yeah, and that's a great point to be bringing up these team fight stages, because if you look at this team comp on the side of the Relegades, they are almost entirely a death ball. You have a Shen, an Olaf, an Echo just sprinting at you, trying to pelt you down with hitting you with sticks or beef or whatever they have, and then that's not going to really open up many opportunities for Worthless Korean to get any isolations down and try to put down some damage. But because he is this fed, it might not even matter if he needs those isolations to delete the likes of Samano or the Sandwalker.
Early exhaust onto Samano. Here comes the Destiny. Gold card not going to come through. It was a red card. Stand United and heal being used. Samano gets the teleport, not from Red Flame.
Just one more stun.
Iris was able to stop that out. There's no stun readily available, but we do see White Raw making an appearance in the top lane. Maybe looking for the dive.
Worthless Korean is matching this roam up top, though.
Does look like Zero's trying to back. He is going to dredge line away. Ghost and Ragnarok popped from White War. Gets the flash as well. 1v2 onto Worthless, though. Worthless Korean is winning the 1v2 for now. Ooh. Gets the kill. Here comes the isolation damage. White Raw has nowhere to run to. Does not get the kill. Another double kill going to Worthless.
And you just can't try to make those risky plays when you're that behind against such a fed Kha'Zix. And now he gets even more fed and has free reign to farm his jungle. Could even potentially invade the jungle of White Raw.
And I've talked about it with Primus in the past. Jungle CS doesn't really mean anything because the numbers just get so skewed by Krugs and Raptors. But we're seeing a 22 CS lead. That's like the breaking point when you actually start noticing, you know, the difference in junglers.
Yeah, 22 CS lead, not too much. Could really just be 2 Krugs camps, but where the CS leads do matter a lot is in that XP, because Smite does scale off of XP, so it really swings who has the power to take those neutral objectives for their team.
So CyberGod actually missed all of his abilities before trying to go in. Ooh. Dodges out on the gold card, but the damage from Worthless Korean is just so huge right now.
Yeah, I personally am not a fan of that Tiamat first bind, because you snowball so much harder if you just build the Caulfield's Hammer, get the CDR so that you get faster ultimates, and then start building towards a Yoma's Ghostblade. And then you can roam really hard, because you get the move speed, you can chase people down extremely easily. So not really a snowball build, but it doesn't really matter.
But he's making it work. He is 5-0-4. One thing about the Echo I'm really not liking that's kind of costing him in these trades is he already has his Sheen before building the Proto Belt. Red Flame finally getting an advantage in this top lane. Does he have
Is Iris
taunt?
gonna go down?
No taunt for 7
Dredge line in
seconds.
3, 2, 1 has Dredge line just in case he needs to get
TP
out.
coming in from Chuckster, but Red Flame so far away. Depth charge going in. Is
Might
it
have to flash.
enough?
Chuckster's flash.
Flash gold card not gonna land and hit a minion.
I've done that before, definitely. You gotta flash gold card that minion so you can get the CS. A great play from Chuckster, really focusing on the CS numbers.
Is 4 CS ahead of the Echo for now.
Hey, he could have been 3 CS ahead, but he had the initiative to show
To
that minion
gold
who's
card
boss.
that minion. Yeah, Sheen already completed, along with 3 stacks of the Roa in the bank for Chuckster.
Here's Worthless Korean on the invade, the classic invade, where he usually dies, but in this one he might live. Gets caught out on the ward, though.
Yeah, he's a little late. He was looking for the red buff, but it's not there.
Many pings coming out towards him. No pressure in that top lane, so this might be a dangerous invade.
Destiny
of course, the Olaf
is available once again, but they do have a smattering of where Chuckster is. They find him in a bush. Chain goes on to Sandwalker. From Sandwalker, jump in from Cyber Gods. Not enough. Chuckster's still alive. True Shot Barrage gets the kill onto Sandwalker. Cyber God dodges out on the gold card once again. Finds Impulse, trying to do anything. Cyber God, though, Destiny comes in. Should be going down. There's the gold card. No minions this time for the punishment, so it does land onto Echo.
And this is such a huge snowball right now. 3-0-3 scoreline for the Chuckster, 5-0 for Worthless Korean. They're just playing so comfortably right now. All of the leads that they want. Now they just have to get some turrets, and they will be sitting very, very pretty.
Samano, not the best place for you, buddy. White Raw, though, trying to get a tower in the mid lane. Worthless Koreans take so much damage off this Shen, though. And another kill being picked up there. He could go for the dive once again, but it will be first brick going over to the Chuckobos in the bot lane.
And it's so crazy to think that a lot of this snowball just happened within the first minute of the game, where they were able to pick up that first blood, put the assist on their bot lane, and most of their members actually, but Worthless Korean especially, the crucial recipient of that first blood that really just started the snowball from even just the beginning of the game, minute 1.
Yeah, he's turned it into a 6-0-4 scoreline, has his Warrior Enchant, has his Tiamat building up to the Ghost Blade. There's not a lot stopping him. I mean, looking at, the Relegades item inventory, there's not a lot of armor.
Yeah, not a lot of armor indeed. And even then, if they do have armor, that Yomu's Ghost Blade is going to make quick work of it, so not really going to amount to much. And this is just such a comfortable game for the Chuckobos to be in right now. 13-3, 5,000 gold lead in 16 minutes. It's just, what more could you ask for right now?
A second Infernal Drake?
How about a 5th Inferno? What about a 16-minute Baron? Let's just get some spaghetti going. Some hardcore rigatoni, make sure that Baron spawns at 16 minutes and Chuckobos can pick up that one.
No, because I like the Rift Herald. If they get... Oh, that's so much damage coming out of Korean. Wins the 1v2. Shouldn't win this kill. Gets the double kill and not going to survive. Trades it for the Rift Herald in the top lane. But I think Korean will take that.
Yeah, I'll agree, but I mean, it is kind of a huge swing in gold. Being that fed, you are actually worth more than the tower gold. The 450 versus the 350 for a global tower gold. So there's a little bit of a swing to try to bring the Relegades back into this one, but slight advantages.
It's all about the slight advantages.
Parallel Converge was put down onto Chuckster, but CyberGod wasn't able to make it over the Raptor wall.
Never lucky.
I'm actually really curious though, because CyberGod aggressing onto the Chuckster, gonna chunk him out pretty heavily. So,
Yeah.
Curious about Worthless Korean. What did he evolve?
Originally it was Claws, and then typically you go Wings second.
Yeah, he's level 11, but looking at he's only got. Did he evolve? Yeah, I'm looking at Evolve Taster Fear, Void Spike, and Leap. He hasn't evolved anything, it seems.
It's entirely possible he's holding on. The Glacial Fissure coming in from Flame Evolved is going to get stunned, but Lord Blank is tanking so many tower shots. Ends up a little bit on the better side of the 1v2.
So I figured it out in a small micro mistake for Worthless Korean. He ended up not upgrading his ulti to level 11. So if he had done that, he would have been able to have his evolved leap and then jump out of that tower dive.
Unlucky.
Definitely
planned.
feels bad.
I don't know if that's calculated. One more auto attack, not gonna land on the flame, so he doesn't get the stun this time. Redemption coming in cross map for the heal. So they do know that Sandwalker is somewhere on the top quarter of the map, making his appearance known. Gets the taunt onto Impulse. Impulse gonna get tagged up, forced to flash away even.
You can still kite this though.
True Shot Barrage is gonna land. No stun yet.
That is Iris 0 coming in for that to help facilitate that tower take.
Yeah, so teleport is burned. And the counter teleport coming in from Cyber the God.
It's ultimately not going to mean much. They aren't going to be able to get this tower down, but not going to be anything gained for either team.
Samano
caught with his pants down. Samano, luckily.
Worthless Korean finds a cook in the jungle. Could this be too many of them? Stand United comes in. Taunt onto Worthless Korean. He tries to go invisible. Gets the kill onto Samano. Can he get out though? Destiny coming in. Red card onto Red Flame. White Rock goes down. Double kill for the Korean. He eats a bat to the face. However, Cyber the God gets the shutdown gold. Chuckmaster now in worse for wear. There's the not parallel convergence, but the gold card onto Cybergon gets the kill. Lord Blank taking it for himself. Stun onto Sandwalker, and just so much damage coming through. 4 for 1 in favor of the Chuckobos.
This is looking disastrous if you are a Relegade. Almost living up to the name. 19-5 team kills. Almost 7,000 gold lead on the side of the Chuckobos. The Baron just now spawning. They could very easily have their sights set on it, especially with this fed of a Kha'Zix 10, 2, and 4. He'll make quick work of that Baron.
They do need to play a little careful. There's a lot of AoEs still available for the Relegades. They have the parallel convergence. They have, the ricochet boomerang blade. They have inner flames. There's still a lot of stuff that can go wrong in that Baron pit.
Yeah, absolutely. But if there was any time to have Baron, if they could get some vision control down now, they do have the control ward right behind Red buff. Red Flame doesn't have his Stand United, so if there's ever a time, it would be now, I'd imagine.
They do have their eyes set firmly on this top lane tower, though, and with no response from the Relegades, it's theirs. But Worthless Korean fancies another 1v2 with the Relegade bot lane, but at the cost of an exhaust, they will get out for now.
Yeah, and also to speak more about this potential Baron play, Impulse arcing barraging toward, or True Shot barraging rather, towards that bot lane to try to thin out that wave. Infernal Drake spawning in a minute. They could bait the Infernal Drake and then just go for Baron. I think it would be pretty worth, honestly, if Chuckobos went for Baron while they went for Infernal Drake. But we're not in their heads. We don't know what they're planning just yet. So far,
I think if you're Worthless Korean, you're thinking, why not both? I mean, you're 10-2. You can very easily solo the dragon while your team keeps the lanes pressed. And then, once you get that second Infernal, it's all Baron from there.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think it might be made a little bit difficult with Iris Zero's lack of teleport. Flame does have his teleport, so a little bit of a TP advantage on that one, which would help facilitate a potential dragon take for the Relegades.
I mean, they're both on the bot side, so they're not overly worried. Iris, though, kind of just showing who's boss in the bot lane, I guess. I'm not really quite sure what this show of affection is for.
Show of affection, show of aggression, or both potentially, depending on how you like your relationship. But ultimately,
well, you know how growing up you're always told, oh, they're mean to you, they clearly like you. That's what it looked like Zero was going for there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that one. It's kind of wholesome if you think about it. The people that are all mean to you, just maybe they'll like you.
They just secretly love you. And never mind. But the real disaster here, the real wholesomeness, is that a second Infernal Drake goes over to the Chuckobos. That's a lot of damage coming at you from Worthless Korean.
Yeah, I love playing Kha'Zix right now. I've just been pretty much spamming him in solo queue. And that feels so good, especially when you just blow up a target instantly like that.
That redemption meant nothing.
Kazakhs is so much fun. Just come out of nowhere, just jump on someone, slice their face while you're flying, and then they die.
I remember when you could void spikes in the air as well. You basically 100-0 people before your sprite came onto the screen.
Oh yeah, the old spicy season 3 Kazakhs when his leap had like a ridiculous AD scaling. He'd just hop around and kill people like that.
Yeah, because while you were in the air, you void spike and taste their fear, and then they just die. And they're just sitting there like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, it's just a taste there because they're not alive long enough to have anything to fear.
Well, that, and it's also the name of the ability.
Could be both, but
Porque lo nos dos.
White Raw gonna get that blue buff while there's a lot of Chuckobos waiting
the
in the
smite
wings to try to
from
kill him.
Worthless Korean, though.
Gets it.
Feels bad, man. White Raw even had smite available.
But you know, being a level down makes it a little bit difficult to smite out. Worthless Korean sweeping out a lot of this vision, which is what you want to be doing to continue the snowball like this. Right now, Chuckobos rather are just in such a comfortable position to be shoving down these towers, and oh my god,
Void Spikes is not gonna connect. Everything else does land onto Worthless though. Depth Charge is gonna knock up Sertagon, gets stunned up, gets the Stand United, goes for the Chrono Break. Not enough damage, but it is Chuckster who should be going down eventually, but that is not true. Shutdown coming in from Samano. They're doing everything they can. Blank is trying to keep his carry alive. Impulse going low. Samano's getting locked up though. Mystic shots rain from above. Get the kill. Samano trades it back 1-for-1. It's now Sandwalker and Cyber God. There's the Mastery emote. There's the ace coming in. And I don't know what else to say about that.
A 5-for-3 in favor of the Relegades. An interesting chain of events there. I mean, we saw Cyber the God almost get out. So unfortunate to think that Worthless Korean missing that one Void Spike spelled his death because he wasn't able to get the reset and jump out.
He also wasn't able to get the heal, which might have helped.
Yeah, that heal probably would have helped too, but yeah, ultimately a 5-for-3 rather, an ace, interestingly enough.
So it was an ace. They do lose a tower, though. So who's the real winner?
I mean, there's the gold and there's the gold. I would actually say that the amount of gold that they got from the ace and the shutdowns would probably equal the tower of the gold of the tower. I mean, albeit, you know, there's the pressure and the fog of war advantage to get right there, and the longer lane helps you build bigger minion waves to be sieging that in-hit tower later, but with this Korean clearing out these wards as it is time for a Baron dance.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one because there's really no vision from the Relegades here, and now that the Baron's going to be started, the blue trinket does come in, but Worthless Korean's already so low.
There's a
TP coming in. What more can they do? Taunt lands onto Impulse Control. There's Cyber God already getting knocked up, but not before Chuckster gets taken down. Impulse versus the world right now is going to Arcane Shift aggressively, gets the kill, not facing any threat from the backline. However, Sandwalker finally says, "You are mine," gets the kill, and now Iris is on the run. What looked like a good start ends up being a bad start, and this should be Baron going over to the Relegades.
Yeah, the Chuckobos just filed into that Baron pit.
Oh, Worthless Korean actually lived, but does...
Ooh! He could steal that. Yeah,
Samano gets tagged up, doing damage to whatever he can. Boomerang Blade not actually going to do anything, but Worthless Korean with the cleanup crew only gets 2, though. Shutdown from Samano.
And that one's a 5-for-4. Another ace onto the Chuckobos for what seemed to be a good Baron call. They didn't have the adequate vision denial, though. If you look towards the Baron pit, there are 2 control wards. There's one into the pit and then the other one
Stand United
right
and Destiny both being blown. Here comes the on the hunt. Chuckster's gonna get stunned, or not stunned, he's gonna get taunted up, but Samano is now positive in a game he was 1-5 on.
It looks like, yeah, and to talk about changing scores, Used to be a 10-2 Kha'Zix, now is a 14-4 Kha'Zix, so the snowball definitely hasn't continued for him. And he's also sitting on another serrated Dirk, while he's already got his Yomus and Blade of Drakthar, so I'm really curious what that one would actually turn into. What else builds into Dirk?
Edge of Night?
Oh yeah, Edge of Night. I guess
It's something we haven't seen a lot of, but
it's still really good on Assassins, just because you know when you can go in.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's just something we haven't been seeing a lot of since the nerfs. Third Infernal Drake. Holy moly, what could have been?
Yeah, this is a big one. Ooh.
Cybergon blows the Chrono Break and gets slowed up. This should be him going down. Worthless Korean wants more kills.
Worthless Korean should have been on that dragon. So unfortunate. I mean, that is such a huge swing for them to deny that third Infernal Drake.
Red Flame trying to get the sneaky blue buff. He gets the blue buff. Will he get out? He should be able to get out as well. But he kind of... he's staying for the ward. Don't stay for the ward.
Oh, he could have got it. I mean, he should have just committed for that if he was going to go in the first place. Q connects onto him. Could be a potential stun. Nope. Just going to peel right off that one. Even
I think you realize that staying one more auto might have been a bit riskier than originally thought.
Yeah, and ultimately the risks have not paid off right now for the Relegades, as this Goldie that was around 7,000 has shrunken just a little bit after Gold lead for the Chuckobos. Misspoke, Relegades instead of Chuckobos. Chuckobos still in the lead, has dwindled quite, but ultimately remain in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's about a 5k, or it is a 5k gold lead right now. Lots of vision control for the Chuckobos on this Baron dance again. And now they're finding Sandwalker, who just gets completely annihilated there. Wrong place, wrong time.
That should be the Baron, I believe. I mean,
although they smell blood, they see Cyber to God, Destiny coming in, stun card goes in, Cyber to God not able, Chrono Break comes in, but Depth Charge stuns everything against him, will be going down. Worthless Korean, though, is also gonna go down.
That was just kind of dumb, if I'm being honest. I mean, fighting him under tower against a tank who's got armor. I'm sure he's got the lethality, but not enough.
He was only able to take him down to about half HP. However, a fully stacked Roa is more than enough for Chuckster to tank that tower. Gold card and shutdown coming in onto Samano. White Rod trying to do what he can. Stand United is going to land. Chuckster's slowed up, not able to get away though. Red Flame's already at half HP. Sandwalker wades through the battle. Talent onto Impulse could be his death. There it is. White Rod with the kill. What more can they get out of this, though? Inspire Shield coming through. Iris has the Wolf Camp to defend him, but is it enough? Blast Cone over the wall. Inspire, Chilling Smite. Shen taunt, hammer down. Can they get the damage? Don't let him pop the Blast Cone. The answer is no.
Ultimately, nothing to be gained from purely gold and experience from these kills, but it is close. The gold lead actually stays fairly even. Still Chuckobos in the driver's seat for this one, but they are floundering just a little bit, trying to continue this snowball.
Yeah, they're taking these fights that are a bit questionable as they go on. I mean, the fights start off very nice. The fight starts, they do very well, and then it seems like they keep trying to press, and all of a sudden they lose 3 members.
Yeah, I agree. I ultimately don't agree with this Kha'Zix build that Worthless Korean is piled into his cart and bot. Because he just has so much. Oh my god.
Are you sure? Sure about that? Sandwalker does get caught warding.
Okay.
Red Flame decided to run away from his team, but it ends up not really mattering. His Iris 0 throws down the Depth Charge. Gold card available. Destiny coming in. Gold card onto Chuckster. The gold card on a minion once again. Worthless Korean does get taken down finally. Double kill for Samano. Can he get more? It's the tanks versus Samano and White Raw. They're taking tons of damage. Blank finally going to get taken down. Red buff is available. Cyber God, though, will have the slow available. Will he get taken down, though? He does not. Ace for the Relegades once again!
Chuckobos, what are you guys doing? That is like the third ace in the last 7 minutes. A third ace. And that could pretty much be the Baron. White Raw can tank very well.
And they have a lot of damage here. And with nobody from the
it's completely
Chuckobos.
uncontested. This is an easy Baron pickup for them. And what should have been an easy snowball into win for the Chuckobos just falls apart at the seams.
And with the Baron buff going on to all 5 members of the Relegades, this opens up a bit of a split push threat with both TPs available.
Yeah, and Samano, actually looking at his item build, hasn't picked up his last Whisper yet, is looking to try to whittle down and burst the Ezreal and the Kha'Zix. So the reason that I bring up the Kha'Zix build is that he has so much flat penetration that by the time it gets to late game, which it will because the Chuckobos keep misplaying these fights and decisions, he's not going to have enough armor penetration percentage-wise to cut through the tanks as well once they start scaling up even more.
And we've already seen that happen almost. I mean, we saw that fight where he tried to take on White Raw and was only able to get him to half HP before going down.
Yeah, it's my point exactly. He's got a lot of flat pen to take out Samano and the Sandwalk. You saw how fast she got blown up near the Baron pit. But when it starts to matter, it's not going to be enough to cut through the tanks. And really at this point, if Samano is going to be able to cut through the front line in a front-to-back team fight, he's going to be able to cut through the front line better than Impulse is. And because they have so much single target damage that you touched upon earlier in Champ Select. So Worthless Korean's only option is to kind of whittle down those frontline threats. Otherwise, if he jumps on to the back line and Standwalker shields him and he isn't able to kill him, he's pretty much done for.
Korean is going to get engaged upon Red Flame on the wrong side of the wall, though. Flashes in. Red team gets the Dragon. Very close,
so
though.
For Impulse. Yeah, that was extremely close for Impulse to pick that one up. And right now, it just Chuckobos kind of floundering a bit, just walking around almost like the chickens. Their heads cut off, not sure where to go from here.
The Relegades have wasted a lot of their Baron, though. They spent a lot of it trying to get that Ocean Drake.
Yeah, agreeable. I believe they are only sitting on 33% of it left, so not much to be gained from that besides golden experience. A little bit interesting. A White Raw used to be, extremely behind Worthless Korean, but right now he's actually got the level lead on him. So the CS game, I'm playing it within his favor. Worthless Korean has just now hit level 18, which is kind of crazy. Both the junglers, I believe, are the highest. Yeah, on the side of the Relegades, the jungler is the highest level jungler in mid lane, Cyber and White Raw, and on the side of Chuckobos, Worthless Korean is 3 levels up on Iris 0 and 2 on the Chuckster. So it is very well within his responsibility to be carrying this game, and he just hasn't performed.
Cyber to God, 100. Oh, that's bold. He does get the kill anyway, though. Gold card lands on the Cyber. Stand United coming in does scare off everybody.
Entire health bar in a shield.
Yeah, Shen's pretty okay. Sandwalker gets jumped on with Korean with the exhaust and the flash, though. Can he get away from Samano? The answer is yes. But now in the top lane, we do see White Raw just straight up winning this 1v1. Pops the Ragnarok, pops the Ghost, trying to get this kill. But the shields are never ending right now. White Raw gonna get hit with the depth charge, still on the chase. White Raw has the GA, but he doesn't have the damage. Yeah, what is a tower? But eventually it matters. But two-man taunt doesn't get the time for the stun to come in from Cyber. It is not. Lord Blank, though, not any health anymore. And Cyber to God really loves using this Chrono Break.
Yeah, and right now this game turned right on its head. A 1,500 gold lead in the favor of the Relegades. The Chuckobos threw it down the drain. Their stocks have plummeted.
Bit of a death bush coming out. This could work.
I don't think the Chuckobos are gullible enough for that one. They are going to go elsewhere. Not sure why they're going mid, actually, when there's... Yeah, and they're even catching wind of this. They thought they backed.
White Raw.
The Relegades are actually just going to go onto the inhibitor.
So they do show two members in the
Wow.
top lane. White Raw not able to win the 1v2, but end of the day, that's not really what matters.
What a
They're
huge
going.
misplay.
They lose the inhibitor, but can they get more out of it? They force the flash out of Samano. Iris has depth charge not available. Used it earlier in the top lane. Void Spikes goes in. There's the
leap out.
parallel convergence and the time winder for the slows. They
They're
should
really
be
big
able to
slow.
get out though.
Look at that. 850 HP, close to 900 HP on that Nexus Tower. If that Nexus Tower had fallen, that would have been an enormous misplay from the Chuckobos. To lose the inhibitor tower and the inhib and then the Nexus Tower off of one push.
Yeah, it could have been very detrimental. End of the day though, ends up not being the case.
With the screen could get caught out here though. It doesn't have much backup outside of the Chuckster. With the screen does have a history of biting off more than he can chew.
However, not a whole lot of pressure when you're facing just a Shen.
Yeah, agreed. But if he gets that taunt up there, I mean, the rest of the reinforcements on the Relegades were coming in. Could have spelled disaster for the Worthless Korean.
So, Worthless is 6 items. So, yeah, he's winning these 1v2s, 1.5v1s. You know, he keeps getting that kill onto Sandwalker. But he has nowhere to go from here, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's peaked too early, essentially.
So, I mean, now, what's the next step? There's no Baron for 30 seconds.
You just kind of have to wait the Baron buff out, try to get this, wait for the inhib out. It's a time game right now. And time is on the side of the Relegades, really, because they can keep scaling up. And, they can keep scaling up and make it easier for them to shove down these towers and try to just death ball over this Chuckobos lineup. Death ball not particularly relevant when it comes to Red Flame slowly whittling down Iris 0.
Yeah, there's
half
just...
to health. Holy crap.
Yeah, there's just zero response coming out of Iris right now. We see a big engage coming through. Red card
He's
does
so fast.
nothing against Chuckster.
He's so
Chuckster
fast.
trying to get out with the Destiny. It does not matter. However, Samano finds a bug. No can of raid available. Cyberdagon trying to get away. Zonya's in. Shouldn't escape though. Worthless takes that kill.
Stand United's
but,
still available.
But Zero, there's the Stand United. Shouldn't be going through the CC from Zero. Keeps him away. So there's no taunt available. Korean can clean this up. Korean trying to catch on to Sandwalker.
close.
Does get it. Takes a Nexus Tower.
What a Pyrrhic victory. All of that for a Nexus Tower. It seems to be a 3-for-1 just looking at the death timers. But still, what a big loss. And a great play from the Relegades to run them down, knowing that they have the split push in Red Flame to take that tower if they respond to that fight.
And Zero just can't handle Red Flame right now.
Yeah, they need to swap that out. He's losing this solo lane 1v1 so hard.
The thing is, does it get better if you put Chuckster down there? I mean, can the Twisted Fate deal with it any better than, you know, the Nautilus?
I mean, he can kite a little bit better, but if they're taking Baron right now, I don't think it's going to matter much. You can put anyone down there, and those Empowered Minions are going to be able to stop it. White Raw on the other side of the wall, but has no blink to get in there. He's running
coming
towards.
in, throws down the axe. There's the
And he steals it!
the reckless swing plus the smite. Take it from the jaws of defeat.
One ticket back into this game after throwing such a huge lead. They close it a little bit more. Not much of a gold lead left, but that would have been the ticket back into this game and make themselves so much comfortable. But they lose it. All they had to do was just kill him or keep him out. They should have turned on him and tried to burst him down instead of trying to burn the dragon down, or burn the Baron down rather.
So
they still have the inhib out.
Elder Drake is available. We see the Relegades starting it up, but Worthless Korean's still alive. Like, the smite potential's still there.
Oh, they're really fearful of this one. Monster E all the way out of the
They
pit.
just
Maybe
stole
too
a
far out
bear,
of
and
the
they don't need their Elder Drake stolen.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too far out. I mean, they need to put Red Flame into a lane right now. He has a Stand United up. Back at base, he has TP. You should actually just see. No.
Elder Drake goes down so very
There's
fast.
a TP. Onto the ward behind the pit.
TP coming in. There's no time left on this Elder Dragon, though. They need to go now. There it is. Blue team pick that up. Red Flame gets annihilated. Samano gets taken down super low. It is White Raw versus the world right now. Worthless Korean picks up the first, picks up the second, picks up the third. But CyberGod's already in the base with so many super minions. Stop the backs.
He might be able to end this. He might be able to end this.
Red Flame, what are you doing? Flash! Gets one, gets two. CyberGod's on the base. He has a Lich Bang. Gets the Chrono Break, gets the kill. What is that? Holy moly!
Wow.
What was that?
What a throw from the Chuckobos. Holy crap. Wow.
I don't know what just happened. I mean, what seemed like an almost for sure victory from the Chuckobos.
24-6. The entire, probably all of the gold lead that the Chuckobos had was resting within Worthless Korean. So when he wasn't on the map, it was pretty much like an uneven fight.
And looking at these damage charts, 57,000 from Worthless Korean. He did as much as the mid laner and 80 carry for Relegades combined. And you throw the support in there too. Or, no, you don't throw the support in, but mid lane and 80 carry combined, just about doing the damage of the enemy jungler.
Yeah, that's really crazy. And also, it's kind of weird to think about that. Echo, an AP Echo did as much damage as Tank, Shen, and Olaf. So I feel like if they want to put more damage into that comp, Echo might not be the answer.
I mean, did you see how much damage went through onto the Ezreal with that Chrono Break right at the end there?
Yeah, I think that Chrono Break was probably all the 25,000 that
yeah, it was like a one-shot kill. Ezreal had like 80% HP and just blew up. But what a play there. They got the Elder Drake for their Nexus. I do know a couple people that would call worth there.
Yeah, that was just, I can't comprehend the level of throw that the Chuckobos just did is kind of incredible. Like, how many times that they all got caught out, all got aced 3 times in like 5 minutes, and then Baron was stolen. Just everything fell apart right after, and it was in their hands. Like, you can't ask for a better early game after getting all those kills onto Chuckster and Worthless Korean. It's just, it doesn't really get much better than that. So you have to ask yourself, like, especially when this is a series and they play so well, like they have everything going for them, how are they going to play when it's dead even, or if they're even playing at a disadvantage?